The Civil War is one of the most defining moments in American history, an era of division, heroism, and loss. In his latest book, The Demon of Unrest, Erik Larson takes us back to the turbulent days before the first shot was fired, to examine how a nation on the brink of chaos came to a point of no return. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the best historical reads of the year, The Demon of Unrest, a saga of hubris, heartbreak, and heroism at the dawn of the Civil War by Erik Larson. Whether you're a history buff or just someone looking for a gripping story, this book offers both in a way that is hard to put down. What immediately stands out about this book is Larson's ability to breathe life into historical figures and events. His research is meticulous, and he draws from real diary entries, speeches, and letters to give us an authentic look at the period. From Abraham Lincoln's rise to the presidency, to the secession of Southern states, and to Major Robert Anderson's defense of Fort Sumter, Larson tells the story in such vivid detail that you feel like you're witnessing history unfold in real time. I particularly loved how Larson captured the complexity of the characters involved. Major Anderson, for example, is portrayed as a hero struggling with immense pressure while remaining committed to his duty at Fort Sumter. The author also dives deep into the mindset of Southern aristocrats like Mary Chesnut, who represented the fierce defense of slavery as part of their way of life. It's clear that Larson wanted readers to understand how deeply ingrained these beliefs were and how they shaped the tensions that led to war. For someone like me, who isn't typically a fan of Civil War history, this book was surprisingly gripping. The descriptions of Fort Sumter alone are enough to make you feel like you're standing on that historic ground. Having lived in Charleston for over a decade, I could appreciate how well Larson captured the feel of the city and its long-standing cultural and historical ties to the conflict. One of the strengths of The Demon of Unrest is how relevant it feels today. Larson uses the story of the Civil War to draw parallels to our own time, pointing out the dangers of division and the importance of unity. It's impossible not to think about the current political climate as you read about how deeply divided America was in 1861 and how the war became inevitable because both sides refused to compromise. Larson's message is clear. History can repeat itself if we don't learn from it. If I had to offer one criticism, it would be that at times, some of the side stories felt like they dragged the narrative away from the main events. There were moments where I wished Larson would focus more on the build-up to Fort Sumter, rather than exploring some of the peripheral characters. But even with that said, the level of detail and historical insight he provides more than makes up for it. Overall, The Demon of Unrest is a masterful piece of narrative nonfiction that not only tells the story of how the Civil War began, but also serves as a warning for our times. I would highly recommend it to anyone who enjoys historical works that are as thought-provoking as they are immersive. If you haven't already, be sure to pick up a copy, and I'd also recommend the audiobook version. The narration, especially by Will Patton, adds an extra layer of depth that makes the story even more engaging. Thanks for watching! If you enjoyed this review, be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you've read The Demon of Unrest, or if you're planning to. Stay tuned for more reviews and recommendations.